Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. In the last video we started our trek up Mount Nebel, and today we are going to continue on our adventure and make it to the Mako reactor. Last time we talked a little bit about fighting, we talked about the main menu and the stuff you can do there, so now let's continue on. Alright, we got another 3 Insectoid Chimera. Here it's going to talk about switching modes with Cloud, which we have discussed before. So as I talked about before, you can press the triangle button to switch between Cloud's Operator mode and Punisher mode. Operator is going to give us a more balanced approach, and Punisher is more offense oriented, but is going to make Cloud slower. So it's going to talk to us a little bit more about the Punisher mode. So as I mentioned, Cloud moves more slowly, but his attack can unleash a more powerful attack than usual. Cloud also launches a counter blow every time he guards against an enemy's melee attack. He cannot, however, guard against ranged attacks or magic, and when you evade, you will switch back to the Operator mode.
It's on now.
So let's take out these guys. I can also show off the Assess Materia that we got. So let's fill up a bar of Cloud's ATB gauge.
Let's finish this.
Now that we filled up the bar, if you go to Abilities, go down to the bottom to Assess. You can see it's going to show us a lot of useful information about the enemy. It's going to give us a little bit of a bio description. The yellow text is very important, so this tells us how we can weaken the enemy and pressure it in order to stagger it. So it says launching them up in the air or exploiting their elemental weakness with magic attacks will pressure them. On the right side there, we can see their weakness is ice. We can also see if they have any lesser resistances or greater resistances, any immunities or elements that are absorbed. And then on the left side at the bottom, we can see any items that you can steal, morphable items, and then rewards like experience, AP, and gil.
Gotta say, that one felt pretty good.
Alright, now that we've taken out those Insectoid Chimeras, let's continue on our path here. We're going to come up to 2 more Velociraptor.
Bring it on.
So with flying enemies like this, I kind of like to stay in Operator mode just because you have a little bit more speed. Flying enemies tend to be a little bit faster. With these guys, once you have a bar of ATB, it's going to be good to use some ranged attacks. So I'm going to use... actually, before I do that, let's assess them, see if they have any weaknesses. So for these enemies, it says that exploiting their elemental weakness or evading them right before they charge will pressure them. So they're weak to wind, so if you have arrow, you can use that. I don't believe we have any wind materia, so if they charge, we can evade that in order to pressure them a little bit. Okay.
See ya.
Take that guy out. So he's going to charge. Doesn't look like I was able to evade that effectively. Let's use spells and fire. So range attacks, spells on these guys is going to be effective because it's going to knock them down, opening them up for attack. Not enough for my ability, so I'll use that to finish them off. Alright, a little bit further along the path here, we have a chest, and I believe this has 2 mixed high potions. So mixed high potions will refill both HP and MP, which is nice, very useful. This has a mega potion. So one thing to note, as I mentioned before, you will not get to keep any of the items that you gain in Chapter 1. You will lose them when you move on to Chapter 2, so do not be afraid to use any items that you come across, as you won't be carrying them over anyways. Alright, so the bridge is taken out, so let's go back and meet up with Tifa and Sephiroth.
It's a dead end. Rockslide took out the bridge a while ago. Come on back, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So this is going to tell us a little bit about context-sensitive actions. So when you see a square with some blue arrows, that means that you can squeeze through narrow gaps, climb ladders, do a variety of things specific to that particular context or scenario. So here you can see the blue arrows down below telling us that we can squeeze through this tight gap.
This way. Gotta make a detour through a Shinra facility.
To think I almost made you our guide. Good thing I reconsidered. Otherwise, you'd have led us straight off a cliff. Lead on.
Yes.
Okay, so coming up here, we're going to reach our next area, the Shinra Facility. Sephiroth is going to open the door for us. Alright. Gotta make a potion there. Nothing in there. Turn to the right here and you will grab a orb of level boost materia. So this is a great materia. The level boost materia will increase the level of any linked materia. So if we go to materia and equipment, if we go to Cloud, you can see on his Road Warrior bangle, there's this black line, and it's also on his Buster Sword, but there's this black line between these first two materia. So that means if you put a materia into that empty slot that has a linked ability, it will also affect the other materia beside it. So with our level boost materia, what that's going to do is it's going to increase the level of linked materia by 1. So right now we have our ice materia. So it's at level 1, so we can use Blizzard. If we put our level boost materia in that link slot, you can see at the top there that now raises it to level 2. So now we can use both Blizzard and Blizzera. So very useful if you want to use take advantage of those greater damage attacks a little bit earlier, or greater healing, which is what I'm going to do in this case. I'm going to switch out my ice materia for my healing materia. So you can see that's going to now allow me to use Kira, which is going to restore a lot more health than the regular Kira ability. Awesome. Alright, so moving on further into the Shinra facility, we're going to take this elevator up. Go to the left here, and you'll find some crates. Get a Mega Potion from there. Don't think there's anything down there. Nope. Alright, so here we're going to come across a Screamer. Alright. So Screamer, this is going to be one of the toughest enemies that we've faced thus far. To pressure it, you're going to want to unleash as much physical damage as possible. You can also perfect block its hammer attacks. So you can see I'm pressuring it by using those physical attacks. If we use our assess, you can also see that it says the same thing, so inflicting enough damage will pressure them. Frontal melee attacks will be ineffective while they swing their maces, and they are weak to fire. Alright, so let's continue pressuring them, get them into that staggered state, and then unleash some of our stronger abilities to take this guy out with ease. So one more ability, and he should be down for the count.
That one felt pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. So if we go over the barricade here, we have ourselves another chest, and that's going to give us a bottle of ether. Ether will refill our MP. Let's head up the stairs here.
The reactor may have been around for a while, but there are still pockets of Mako gas all over the mountain. Try not to breathe it in if you can.
Don't want to get Mako poisoning.
Alright, so we got these pockets of Mako gas that we're going to have to clean up before we can use the terminal here to go up the elevator. Break these. Get yourself another Mega Potion. I've got so many items, I'm actually going to use some of that to refill my health. So you can see I've got 23 Mega Potions that won't carry over, so you know what? May as well use them or lose them. So let's refill some of Cloud's health. And you can see there, if you want to access your items easily, just press the X button to get to the command menu. This is our purifier, so if you press the left trigger beside it, you'll be able to grab on and push it around. It's terribly slow.
Mako gas levels reduced by 70%.
Just painfully drag it over to each pocket of Mako gas.
No Mako gas detected. Elevator access granted.
And boom, we're on our way. Alright, so we are now at the Southern Ridge Summit approach, getting close to the Mako reactor. Get yourself some high potions, Mega Potion. If there's anything around there.
Come on.
Just thinking about crossing that thing.
Then let me go first.
Hey, I'm the guide here.
Alright, Tifa. Better you than me, I guess.
Tifa! Are you okay?
Not really!
He's in Fate's hands now. Do you know the way?
Yeah. Following the river should get us back to the village.
We're not going to the village. Can you get us to the reactor?
Sorry, I don't think I can.
I see. Well, we certainly can't send you back alone. You'll be safer with us.
Okay.
I'll be joining you up front this time. For your performance review.
You kidding me?
Good luck.
Alright, our boy Sephiroth joins the party, and we get a little tutorial on climbing. So basically, throughout the game, you'll see these walls or cliff faces that have handholds. You'll see a context-specific plate in front of it. You can approach it and start climbing the wall. So we're going to do that right here. Climb up. One important thing to note is as you're climbing, you have to face the left stick in the direction of the handhold. Pretty self-explanatory. But just do that and you'll make it up with no problem. Up here we have a bench. So benches, if you stop and rest at them or at any lodgings, you'll fully restore your HP and MP. Before we do that, let's grab this orb of HP Up Materia. We can equip that to Cloud if we like. I'll just put it into this empty slot here for now. And then press triangle to rest at the bench and we will fully restore our HP and MP. Awesome. So we got 3 more insectoid chimeras. Now it's going to tell us a little bit about fighting with Sephiroth. So we've already fought with Sephiroth a little bit when we were fighting the Discordants before arriving at Nibelheim. To switch characters, you can press the D-pad up, your D-pad left and right. Switching characters can provide an advantage in battle. Alternatively, you can also order your allies to attack while controlling the same character. So you can use that using left or right trigger to issue commands to allies by opening up the command menu. And you can also switch characters while guarding. So fighting as Sephiroth, if you press square, you can slash with his Massive Moon, or hold to unleash a ranged attack. Landing a certain number of attacks will allow you to perform branching finishers like Pierce or Sword Dance with triangle, filling the limit gauge. If you press the left bumper, you'll enter retaliation stance, while in this stance press square at the right time to parry an incoming attack. Okay, so Sephiroth by far is the stronger of the two, so we're going to want to fight with him as much as possible. You can see that as I attack, I fill up my special ability, my triangle ability. And there's 3 different branching finishers depending on how much you filled it up. I believe it's Pierce, Telluric Flurry, and Sword Dance. So Sephiroth is the current party leader, meaning that you'll control him at the start of combat. Change your party leader, you can go into the combat settings of the main menu, select a character, and press triangle to designate them as the new leader. So, as I said just a moment ago, Sephiroth is definitely a lot stronger, so we're going to play as Sephiroth in our combat. Though I may switch back to Cloud every so often to assess any new enemies. Alright, so we're going to enter the cave here.
There's no way around it either. Just have to go through.
Let's take out these Velociraptors.
Let's not waste any time. Mako this thick is dangerous.
A nice thing about Sephiroth as well, if you press the evade button, he will warp towards the enemy, which allows you to easily take out any enemies that are airborne or out of reach. Yeah, Sephiroth is really strong. I was going to use a ability there, but he already took out the enemies before I even got a chance to do so. Alright. So if we go up here, we'll find ourselves an orb of Empowerment Materia. So what the Empowerment Materia will do, it'll allow us to use Bravery and Faith abilities. So I believe level 1 is Bravery, which increases your attack, and level 2 is Faith, which increases magic. So since Sephiroth is so strong, and HP Up Materia is only at level 1, so only giving us a 10% boost, and we're mostly playing as Sephiroth, so he's taking the blunt of the hits. We don't really need this HP Up Materia. I'd rather have Empowerment Materia on there. That way I can use Bravery if I need to increase my attack power. So let's get Empowerment on there. One thing to note with Sephiroth during Chapter 1 is you are unable to change any of his materia, so you'll be stuck with the current materia that he has. So just keep that in mind. And continuing on, we're going to come up to our first life spring. We'll be seeing a lot more of these life springs throughout the game, but Sephiroth is going to tell us a little bit about this first one here.
A Mako Spring.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but if we keep using Mako to power our homes, springs like this will disappear, right?
What are you talking about? Who told you that?
My dad. And the mayor, if you must know.
Except the planet's huge. Mako will never run out, right?
Naturally formed materia. And look at the size of it. Astounding. For the Mako energy to condense into something like this, it must have taken an eternity.
I've always wondered, how does materia let you cast spells exactly?
How did you ever get to be a soldier? To put it simply, the knowledge of the ancients is sealed within each orb. That knowledge not only connects us to the planet, it allows us to tap into her power. That's how we can use magic. Or so they say.
Really? Magic sure is weird.
I know someone who'd be livid to hear you call it weird, or magic for that matter. I can just imagine what he'd say. It's an affront to science.
Who?
Hojo from Research and Development. His predecessor was a great man, but him, he is anything but. We should press on.
Alright, so let's continue further up the path here.
If it's a
Take out this Velociraptor and the Screamer. I'll take out the Velociraptor first because it's going to be a little bit annoying. Or fight with the Screamer. Alright, once the Velociraptor is down, just use heavy physical abilities and attacks to take out the Screamer with ease, just as we did there. Alright, got a Mako shard there. Coming up here, we're going to fight a new enemy. So this is a Twin Brain. So you want to watch out for its Screamer attack, as it can shock you and paralyze you. And then usually it follows up with Life Siphon, which will bind the character. If you become bound, switch to the other character and attack the Twin Brain in order to free the first character that was bound. So let's go ahead and attack here. I'm actually going to switch to Cloud so that I can assess the Screamer and get the information for it. Let's go to Ability, Assess. I'm going to assess the Twin Brain. Sorry, Twin Brain, not Screamer. So the Twin Brains, they become pressured during Screech. Okay, so Screech is the attack that it uses to paralyze you. If you attack them during its Screech attack, they will become pressured. Perfect. So I'm going to switch back to Sephiroth here. I want to prioritize the Twin Brain. Take it out as quickly as possible.
This way.
Yeah, Sephiroth just melts through enemies, so the fights are over pretty quickly. Get some breathtaking views of the ocean here. Oops. There we go. Some more gorgeous views.
Heads up.
If it's a fight you want,
Alright, we got another Twin Brain, and... Ooh. So, Sephiroth just got hit by the Screech there. So you can see he's now paralyzed. So this is going to tell us a little bit about unblockable attacks. So when an enemy is about to use an attack that cannot be guarded against, you'll get this caution symbol. Take evasive action when that mark displays next to the opponent's skill name. So you can see that Life Siphon attack is unblockable. So that's the attack that would bind the player.
it's all you.
Switch back to Sephiroth here. Use my warp ability to take out this boss easily. Alright, now we're going to shimmy along this edge here. I just love the little attention to detail with things like, you know, the little bits of rock being kicked over the edge of the ledge that we're walking across. The game designers, they really have an eye for detail with these games. Anyways, come down the cliff wall here, and we'll find ourselves another orb of materia. This one is the Magnify Materia, another very useful materia. So the Magnify Materia, if you link it to another materia, it's going to magnify that materia's range. So, say for example, our healing materia, if we were to link our healing materia with the Magnify Materia, that would allow us to use spells like Cure and Cura to all party members instead of just one. So very useful if you want to heal multiple party members at once, or if you want to attack multiple enemies at the same time. Alright, let's head back up. I'm not going to use the Magnify personally because I do like having the stronger Cura version of Cloud's healing ability. Okay, now we're going to come across a zoo.
Not again.
So the zoo is sort of like, I like to consider him a mini-boss of this chapter. This is probably our strongest enemy that we faced up until now, and this is going to give us a tutorial on synergy skills. So, synergy skills, while guarding with left bumper, you can team up with allies to perform a variety of synergy skills. These abilities do not consume ATB charges. The available skills differ depending on which character is being actively controlled. So you can press the middle button while guarding to view descriptions of these skills. So if I press my left bumper, I can use Dual Blade Dance. So that allows me to team up with Cloud and deal some additional damage by synergizing our attacks. Watch out for that tornado ability. You can see it took out 658 hit points from Sephiroth. That's the Zoo's strongest ability. You definitely want to evade that one if you can. Alright, now with the Zoo, let's assess it first. Actually, I'm going to avoid that tornado before I get smacked with it. Go to assess, Zoo. So with this one, exploding its weakness or inflicting enough damage will pressure them. So we can just keep attacking to pressure it. It's weak to wind, so if you have wind materia, you can use the arrow ability to pressure it. I don't believe that we do, so let's switch back to Sephiroth and just rail on the damage. So we can see that we've now pressured it. We've already talked about the pressured state and the staggered state, but this is going to give us a little tutorial on that. So inflicting enough damage or exploiting an elemental weakness will place the enemy in a pressured state, making it easier for us to fill the stagger gauge below its HP bar. So once the gauge is full, the enemy will become momentarily staggered, leaving it defenseless, and we can use the accessibility on an enemy to discover its vulnerabilities as we have been doing. Alright, so let's keep pressuring it. Use Sephiroth's special abilities. It's almost staggered. There we go. Stagger bonus. So enemies that have been staggered are left defenseless and take more damage. Striking staggered foes with the triangle unique ability will quickly fill your ATB gauge, allowing you to unleash devastating skills to finish off your opponent. So we want to attack to fill up our triangle unique ability, use our unique ability to quickly fill our ATB, and then use our ATB abilities to quickly take out the enemy. So let's do that. Alright, so we use a couple of Sephiroth's abilities there. Use the triangle, quickly fill it back up, and there we go. Took out the Zoo nice and easy. Break those crates to get Mega Potions, Phoenix down. We've got a chest here with another Mega Potion. Come up here, and this is the, I believe it's the Precision Defense Focus Materia. Precision Defense Focus Materia. So what the Precision Defense Focus Materia does is it will increase the timing window for your perfect blocks. So very useful materia if you want to get off those perfect blocks in order to reduce damage and increase the pressure on your enemies. That will become very useful. Alright, I'm going to switch to Cloud here because I don't believe I have assessed the Caillou building yet. So just to get that entry, let's assess the Caillou building. So this one is exploiting their elemental weakness will pressure them. They're weak to ice. They're so weak that there's really no point in using Blizzard to pressure them. It would just be a waste of MP because you can take them out with a few hits. So let's switch back to Sephiroth here. There you go. Finish those Caillou building in a matter of seconds. So that's just another way over on the left there to get to that defense. Precision Focus Materia that we already have. So let's head up here. We're getting close now again to the Mako reactor. We can see the environment starting to change a bit, getting more industrial. Head up here. We got ourselves another Orb of Materia. So this is the Autocast Materia, another very useful materia. So what this materia does is it will allow you to automatically use any linked materia. So even if you're not directly controlling the character, and without using the command key. So say you have a party member that you want to use as a designated healer, and you don't want to use your command shortcut to constantly command that ally to use heal all the time. You can link the Autocast Materia to healing materia on that character, and then that character will use healing spells without being directly controlled. So very useful if you want to, save yourself some time, or not have to worry about using healing spells yourself and just let an ally use the healing, do the healing for you. So make sure to break those crates because you'll get a bunch of stuff, a bunch of mega potions, Phoenix down. Alright, climb up the ladder here. Don't forget to miss this over here. There's another sneaky materia hiding away from us. This is an orb of Comet Materia, so that allows us to use Comet spells. There we go. So this is another Mako gas puzzle. So again, we have to clean up the pockets of Mako gas before we continue to the next area. In order to, you can see the purifier in this scenario has a very short cord, so in order to get to some of the Mako gas, we're going to need to open up this door so that we can take the purifier through here instead of wrapping it around. Now before you do that though, make sure to get this first pocket of Mako gas, because if you take the purifier through the door and try to get to this pocket of Mako gas, you're not going to be able to reach it. So make sure to get this one first and then take the purifier through the door. Otherwise you're going to waste a bunch of time because this thing is painfully slow and somewhat awkward to handle. How are y'all doing today?
Reduced by 70%.
Just pushing this thing around is like half the video.
No Mako gas detected. Elevator access granted.
Awesome, awesome. So we have our elevator activated and we are on our way up. Okay. So up here, make sure to slip through here, turn to the right, and there'll be a chest with a elixir. Very useful healing item. This will fully restore your HP and MP. Awesome to have. And before we rest at that bench, let's slide our way down here, open up this chest, and we will get another elixir. Excellent. So let's rest at this bench here, restore our HP and MP. And now that we are fully restored, I feel like this is a good place to stop off the video. In the next video, we're going to take down the first boss, Materia Guardian. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.